Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Between Plays. All right, so I got to get this video up. I got to get it out. I got to get out there quick because I've spoken about ACDC when they were 19 cents. I mean, it's not that it's that far anymore, like whatever. But in January, I spoke about them in the beginning of January. I have articles up on them in the whole 9 yards, and I did do a new article because there is big information now. So it's time to get something up. Problem is that I am rushing. I really am rushing, okay? I got to get on the phone with Arizona. Here we are. ACDC-Daymak reverse merger, okay? Possible, not possible. It's a must read, right? So let's go. Breaking news. Because I'm not putting up any music, nothing. Just got to get out there. With names like Tobias Dushel, ex-vice president of Tesla, and Gabriel Yosef, who served as engineer Ferrari. Tesla, Ferrari. Oh! All right, involved. It's hard to ignore. Please read full article. Okay, Daymak is set to execute a public listing. Public listing doesn't have to be by IPO. It doesn't have to be by SPAC. It could be a reverse merger. And in my head, everything is signaling to reverse merger, and I'll explain why. All right. So way reverse merger, the initial public offering, or merger with special acquisition vehicle. More on this below. I wonder who this could be. Well, I won't look too far. Even Caply Obvious sees on how obvious this actually is. Blah, blah, blah. Daymak's vehicles are all going to be powered by ACDC, rich power technology. So Daymak's vehicles, we know that. All the Avenir series for Daymak is powered by ACDC rich power technology and for the future to come. All right. CEO Aldo Biocchi from Daymak publicly stated that our partnership on products and technology will create amazing synergies, and I believe our collaboration will produce many exciting results and products now and into the future. So he says it in this article if you click here, if you had access to it, which you don't. Just ridiculous. Anyways, Daymak stated that they had the intention of going public last year, but didn't because I believe ACDC landed on their doorstep. Daymak surely thought they found a company with interesting technology, namely ACDC, and took the time to do their homework. This is something that is my opinion, is what I believe, because this is what they were supposed to. They were interested in going IPO last year, right? Well, going IPO, getting on the public market. That was the wrong term. Getting on the public market. Daymak offers financing for their products. This is a big thing that Daymak can do. This is huge because we're seeing a massive scaling up here with people buying the Avenir line in the billions of US, that's supposed to be dollars. There you go. Ranges, okay? I'll be correcting that before it goes out. Imagine ordering your Avenir Spiritus. Future technology is powering your car, and the interior is supposed to be very advanced in technology as well. The Spiritus starts at $19,999, which is an affordable range. I say we're looking at a new dealership in green technology. The potential is absolutely enormous. First of all, you're going to sell your cars, whatever. I've discussed it with my friend. You're going to need a service, a place to service your car. And in that place, you're going to have at least one car of the cars that you're selling. All right. And if they do the reverse merger, you're going to have the Spiritus, you're going to have the Trilogy line, and you're going to have all the Avenir series. You're going to have stuff there. Okay. So let's not forget that Mr. Alabiaka started this company out of his 300 square foot garage because he could not find an e-scooter for his daughter. Just to show you how determined this man is, and definitely loves his children. He ended up creating one on his own because the companies in USA would not ship to him. All right, now Daymak today has over $1 billion US in pre-orders on the Avenir line alone. Think about it. Daymak, $1 billion on the Avenir line alone in pre-orders. How much would your stock? What do you think your stock would be at? Yeah, exactly. Who's powering those pre-orders? ACDC's rich power technology is. Very important not to forget that. Daymak's e-bike are offering Ride Points, world's first e-bike rewards program. Why do you think? I think it's because of ACDC's rich power, artificial intelligence, battery technology. All right, so it could give these types of things out because it has artificial intelligence. It has real-time monitoring in the whole 9 yards. So basically, let us not forget that ACDC Rich Power also have their own EV vehicle line, which is the Trilogy line, all right, which will be also the first to mine crypto coins because the ACDC's technology has the blockchain solutions, artificial intelligence, and so much more just go look at my last videos and my last articles for more information on that, because that's not what we're talking about here. We're interested in this whole reverse merger, IPO, or SPAC thing, all right? And I believe it's a reverse merger. Here's an excerpt stating the interest of mining cryptocurrency. Collect that over here too. ACDC is pleased to announce that it intends to develop a blockchain. The company believes adding a cryptocurrency. So that's for the whole article here when they talk about it. So it's amazing. So I say it's so easy to see how their combined forces is synergistic, right? Which is basically what Aldo Biocchi also stated there. So look, if you haven't done the research into battery technology and ACDC, here is an executive summary. So blockchain metadata, electric vehicles, that's a trilogy line from ACDC, battery management system, BMS, battery recycling, real-time monitoring, remote maintenance, ESS, energy storage systems, smart charging systems for EV charging stations, AI, Ionics line, Triton line, smart command off your cell phone app, which gives you real-time monitoring, tells you if there's something wrong with the battery, how much if the battery's fully charged, not whatever. There's a whole bunch of stuff on top of that, and it comes in an app. It's amazing, all right? So I'm just saying here, I'm like calling it out. I'm like, sorry, Aldo, but I'm calling it out. I believe you, sir, will be doing a reverse merger with ACDC. I could be wrong, but I do not think so. And if this happens with over $1 billion in pre-orders for Avenir line alone, your stock will then skyrocket once on the market, and there's no way I'm sitting on the sidelines. I picked up more shares this morning, all right? Imagine the vice president of Tesla, Tobias Duschel, and Gabriel Yosef, engineer of Ferrari, is involved here too. So we have two big names here, and they're involved here. So how do we know this? So both the company and Ionics Pro will leverage their intellectual horsepower, including Daymak CEO Aldo Biocchi, the president of Daymak, who was responsible for the Daymak LED designs, Tobias Duschel, who served as vice president at Tesla, and it's not the wrong Tesla, it's the right one, Gabriel Yosef, who served as an engineer at Ferrari, Nevada, and Robert Abenante, the CIO at Ionics Pro, who was responsible for Ionics Pro product design. So here you have the full article. So I can't ignore this. So basically, look how cool this is. So now how about this? CEO Aldo Biocchi sits on the advisory board of ACDC, alongside the founder and chairman of Jack Han of Rich Power. So I'm guessing that they have time to communicate with each other. What do you think? I think that they do, and that they're talking to each other right now. Look, they're two executives on the ACDC board. And if you really think about it, all right, if you really think about it, you got, ACDC's in the middle. You got Rich Power that needed to have North American markets, South American markets, Europe, and Africa, right? And so ACDC comes and says, look, we got, a public listed company. We're interested in the future of technology and the whole 9 yards of EV technology. We're interested in this. We're going to do things. Come with us. We give you access. We'll do everything right. So they go on and they jump on board, giving them access to, first of all, stock market, Canadian American stock market, at the same time as their technology gets to go out all through our side, which increases their market share, because Rich Power in Asia is actually very big. So a lot of people don't know who Zijin is, but they went and bought out Neolithium at $6.50 a share. So we're on two different sides of the world. It's really big. They have many people, and Rich Power is very dominant in their side of the world. All right. So just because we hear about Tesla every single day, I'm sure they do, but now we're starting to hear about Rich Power, but they know about Rich Power. So now we're starting to learn about Rich Power over here. So don't forget, Tesla, Elon Musk is the first person to try to break all barriers, and he did. So not try, he actually succeeded. And he brought us into what we're seeing today. So it's only normal that they would know about Tesla probably before anybody else because of their beautiful cars and stuff like that, right? So it's normal. But now we're starting to get the spillover effect, and we're starting to learn about these Asian companies that have massive market share over there, that went into these fields and are bringing this technology up as fast as they can. So look, Daymak has stated they love ACDC's technology to the point that it will power all their vehicles. That in itself is a massive statement. So what I'm saying is that action speaks louder than words. And now they will have all Rich Power's other technology, including smart charging EV stations, because a reverse merger would allow Daymak to own those rights that ACDC and Rich Power signed for exclusively. So think about it. They do a reverse merger. Now you got Daymak and Rich Power basically cutting out the middleman, right? But don't forget that the middleman in here is going to make a hell of a lot of money, probably have a career for the rest of his life, making him in a competitive salary ranges of above 100,000. I'm thinking guaranteed for sure, because Mr. Bryson makes big money. I mean, he's got other companies. He's involved in a lot of stuff. You know, he's good friends with Yari Nyekin, who's behind CloudMD. So you know, he's going to be getting good money. And of course, I'm sure him and Robert will, Mr. Robert Ananante, they'll probably be getting, you know, tons of shares in the exchange for in Daymak. So I'm not worried about the middleman being cut out, and then they're like, "Oh my God, we have nothing." No, that's not happening here whatsoever. The networking that CEO Bryson Goodwin has done here is genius. It's genius. I wish I was in that position. Anybody wishes to be in that position. That you got Daymak and then you got Rich Power, and you know they're two powerful forces. Like, it's not like who sells, you know, pre-orders of over $1 billion US. Give me a break. Rich Power has market share in Asia. These are two power horses that he's brought together. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. It's almost like, well, I cry. Okay, but honestly, seriously, yeah. So look, we blah. So Aldo has also stated stated this in a latest article. We want to thank everyone who supported us in achieving this goal, with special thanks to our strategic partners, Extreme Battery Technology, and Ionics Pro Battery Technology, so IBT, whatever, who continue to be critical in the Avenir product line development. So think about it. With special thanks to our strategic partner, so it's all about strategy here. Strategic strategy. Listen, Mr. Biaki is not, this guy's smart, man. He's well-respected, smart man. You don't take a company from your garage and then make it to what it is today if you're not smart. Who's done that? Let's see now. Microsoft, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, I don't know. You know, maybe Elon Musk is, yeah, he worked out of his apartment to create PayPal and the one that was before that. So, you know, you're talking about people that are, you know, are willing to, you know, go to limit. He's one of them. It's so obvious, you know? Anyways, so look, strategic partner is ACDC, and, you know, the Ionics Pro battery technologies continue to be critical in the Avenir product line development. So, product line development. Think about that. The Spiritus car will be equipped with customized AI-powered Ionics Pro lithium-ion battery systems. President Daymak. Okay, it's just too easy and too good to be true. I'm calling Daymak to do a reverse merger with ACDC, and here's a silver bullet. Foundation Markets will lead one or more private placements of Daymak International Inc. for minimum aggregate gross proceeds of $25 million, the financing to enable manufacturing of the Spiritus and other Avenir lineup. So that's amazing right there. All right. And execute its public listing in 2022 by way of a reverse takeover, initial public offering, or a merger with a special acquisition vehicle. For any interests or queries relating to the financing of the transaction, please contact. Okay, what's my? So I guess who I'm calling, because I'm gonna make a phone call over here or send them out a message. So why would Daymak go anywhere else but buy out ACDC? It's logical. It works for everyone, including CEO Bryson Goodwin. ACDC will have gone from networking one of the biggest plays ever, taking advantage of the new electric vehicle revolution. Getting Rich Power on board in order to secure the Americas, Europe, Africa with their products was an amazing move, and then reaching out to Daymak was genius. Mr. Bryson found the other perfect partner in Daymak. Combining Rich Power technology, ACDC on the Canadian American markets, and Daymak's LEV and Avenir line and reputation makes ACDC the perfect fit for reverse merger at a low cost. With all that technology, Daymak's revenues and financing capabilities, this is a whole new level, and we're in for a ride. If the buyout price is right and Mr. Bryson Goodwin gets inside perks, career for life with a ton of Daymak shares, I would take that deal hands down if I was him. In a heartbeat, because it's obvious that ACDC stock symbol would then reflect Daymak's name. And with that, yeah, I did that. Absolutely. I'm expecting an exponential increase in ACDC stock price when this makes its rounds. Meaning like the whole talk about the reverse merger or special acquisition or whatever, because people are just going to put one and one together and they're gonna go the same way. The hype alone may do just that, considering it is a penny stock. You know the saying, buy the hype and sell the news. But in this case, I doubt anyone would be selling a real company like Daymak combined with rich power technology at these prices. Why, to me, this is a reverse merger. If you're going IPO, you're gonna have to do all of here. If I don't know if some of you are watching for cloud and lead, all that kind of stuff, but everything has to be in line. All these companies, they have to submit a request, they have to do this, they have to show their financials, they have to do that, they have to go through this, you have to jump through there, you have to jump through there, you have to jump through there. A lot of companies like i3 Energy didn't want to do all those things. They just went and did a reverse merger. So unless people know what they have, because a reverse merger just slips under the radar, but a reverse merger doesn't only slip under our radar because you don't have that big IPO that everybody's, whatever. It slips under like radars, like it's just a backdoor way of getting in instead of having to do all these lengthy processes of IPO. So it's an easier method, all right? It's an easier method. So I don't see why they would do an IPO on their own. I don't see why, because let's say Daymak does do an IPO on their own, all right? It's gonna take time to get on the market. It's gonna take time, that's for sure. All right, we'll only imagine that 6 months to like 2 years. All right, I don't know what the backlog is, so it could be anyone's guess. But they're gonna have to, if they don't have all that paperwork done immediately and stuff like that, well, you're just looking at time. Plus, they seem to be very busy with ACDC and Rich Power, and building this whole new series. So if you don't do things the right way, things will just come back, and then it takes longer. So if you're gonna do it one time, do it the right way, and then that's it. All right. That takes time to do it the right way too, by the way. So I don't think IPO is the way to go here. SPAC. I know that in the past, Daymak attempted to do a SPAC, was going to do a SPAC. I don't know, it was capital investment acquisition. I don't remember what it was. But we're talking about a long time ago. All right, 2013 time or whatever. In the end, I didn't see anything that made me believe that they ever, got onto the market, because I'm sure that they didn't, because they'd still be there today, that's for sure. So a SPAC is something that, I think that they've looked at. I actually know they looked at because there's articles on that. So it didn't happen in the end, and it would be more costly. It would be more costly because your SPACs are going anywhere between $10 and $20 and all this kind of stuff. How much are they going to pay now to take over that vehicle? You understand what I'm saying? So there's paperwork too and all this kind of stuff. It's just really costly and stuff like that. Now let's look at the reverse merger. Oh yeah, and what else does a SPAC give you? It just gives you access to the market. Like the IPO just gives you access to the market. One is really long and stuff like that. The SPAC might be more expensive because of all the stock price that's involved in that special acquisition vehicle, whether it's $10, $20 or whatever, and all the paperwork with that. And it still gives you nothing. It gives you just access to the market, just like the IPO. Same nothing. Reverse merger. It gives you the rights, all the licensing agreements that ACDC has with Rich Power Technology. Does Aldo like Rich Power Technology? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because it gives them artificial intelligence, because it gives them battery management system, because it gives them energy storage system, because it gives them smart EV charging stations, it gives them the Onyx, it gives them the Titan. It goes on and on and on and on. It gives them access to mine, do the ride sharing thing that he's doing for his e-bike, mine cryptocurrency. It's unlimited. It's the future. It gives him smart command, real-time monitoring. It gives him the future. And it's dirt cheap. It's dirt cheap. It's dirt cheap. The stock ACDC right now is where it's You put in $2,000 at 20 cents and you got yourself 10,000 shares. I mean, that is dirt cheap, man. That is insanely dirt cheap. There's not more dirt cheap than that. So as ACDC stated, that we're going to give the chance to the retail investor to start from a company bottom up when they started the way they did by changing their name and going to ACDC with a whole new direction. If Daymak does a reverse merger here to take over the company of ACDC, to take it over, to buy it out, which gives them direct access to so much more compared to an IPO and to a SPAC, if I was the owner of Daymak, I would do a reverse merger hands down because I want my hands on those rights. Those rights for rich power that ACDC has is exclusivity to America, all America, so South and Central and North America, to Europe and to Africa. Look, it's a no-brainer. For me, it's a reverse merger. Naturally, listen guys, I always stated, you know it's at the bottom. I don't pump and dump. That's not what this channel is about. I will never do that. I'm not interested in that. This channel is for how my kids one day, or we're going to be able, when they get older. I really hope I'm still around when I'm like, 85. But I had kids older. So I want to leave stuff to show that this is how I do things. It's how I think. I do my research. I prepare. I plan. I execute. And then on top of that, I try not to get shaked out by whether you're in a cruise line or whether you're in some kind of stock cloud MD, and institutional investors are not coming inside of it because why? It's undervalued, but they just know it's 97.7% owned by retail investors, and retail investors are neither they need their money, they don't know what's going on, and they just sell, and then all of a sudden when that stock gets to a bottom rock hard solid support at no one's selling anymore, then they come in after everybody's out and then they buy it all up. So I know better than that. I know when I have something and I hold on to it. This morning I increased my shares to 50,000 shares basically. I'm probably like 1,000 shares off or $500 shares off of the 50,000. But I'm like right there in the 50,000 range because that's how hard I believe that if there's anything happening in an IPO with Daymak, I believe, this is my opinion, that it's a reverse merger with ACDC. And with that all being said, research, prepare, plan, execute, stay strong, everybody. Everyone out there, just taking 2 seconds of your time and asking you to hit the subscribe and the like button. I'd like to also direct you to betweenplays.com, www.betweenplays.com, where we put up many different articles. We have 3 different writers at the moment, and we're trying to up the authors. And go to our Twitter account for really quick information at BetweenPlays1, and we'll be able to get people to pre-market information and whatever comes along that is important to macroeconomics, microeconomics. As we say here, our motto: research, prepare, plan, execute. Always do your due diligence, and stay strong, everybody. Stay strong.